Guys, I'm back working on the C10. I guess not back. I'm back filming. I've been actually working really hard on this thing, learning how to figure out these rocker panels. And I actually have this side pretty much done. Haven't been filming because it's been a really slow learning process, but finally to a point to where this side is pretty much done, besides the final body work. Like I said, a lot of learning, and hopefully now that I've learned a lot, the other side's gonna go a lot quicker. And now that I kind of, which there's hundreds of videos on how to do these, but I guess I can explain how I did it and things I learned that might help you if you are working on it. I think the biggest thing that I had to overcome was accepting the fact that these are not perfect. And I don't know if there's any brand that you can get that is perfect. So you're going to have to modify these in order to get them to fit right or how you want them. For example, I had to pretty much cut all of these corners right here and rebuild them. And I actually cut this out and transferred it from the new one because this slope here was angled a lot more on the old one. And so when I would close the door, it would hit it. And so I looked at the old one and I was like, oh, wow. I'll show you on this side, a little easier to see. So on the new stamp, this angled up a lot more like that. And so when the door opened, it would hit that. And so I looked at the old one and I was like, oh, that's actually really flat there. So I actually just cut the old one out and grafted onto this. And that worked a lot better. So like I said, accepting the fact that they're not gonna be perfect. And if you want it to be perfect, you're gonna have to modify them. Because once I accepted that, I just went to town on it, and it's metal. At the end of the day, you can add new metal, reshape it however you want. So don't get too stressed out about that. But like I said, now that I learned how to do that, hopefully this other side will go faster. Not only because I know what I'm doing, kinda, but there's not as much to do on this side. As you can see over there, I redid pretty much the whole floor pan there, A-pillar, all that. Which I'm still gonna have to do all that stuff here, but I'm not gonna be replacing all of this because the metal's not as bad. So I guess let's get this door off and kind of clean up, and then I can walk you through what I need to do. Alright, so the game plan for this side, unlike the other side, I don't think I need to replace everything. This looks relatively fine back here. Don't see any rust, not really any rust down here. It's not until you start getting to the front where your feet are always going in, so there just could be more moisture in general. It's not until you get here where you start seeing maybe potential rust. So I think I'm going to only be replacing the front part of this outer rocker. I'm going to cut it, and then once I do that, I'll be able to kind of see inside, and maybe I'll have to replace everything. But as of now, I'm hoping that I don't have to replace the whole thing. And then up here, all of this is fine, unlike the other side. Really, it's just the corners here that need replacing, so which is obviously the hardest part, which took the longest over there to figure out. But like I said, hopefully I'll be able to do it a lot faster since I kind of know what I'm doing now. But first thing first, which I was actually going to do on the other side, but I forgot. I got kind of trigger happy and just started going to town. I need to measure everything. I didn't do that on the other side, and so it made it a lot harder to guess where everything was, and so I ended up having to put the door back on and checking, which you should do that anyways before you do your final welds, but I had to put the door on and off several times to make sure that I was in the right location. And if I would have just measured from the get-go, it would have solved a lot of time. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a line on the A-pillar here where the rocker actually starts, and then from there I'm going to draw a line here and make a measurement from this line to the corner here on the rocker, and then I'm also going to figure out how far out this rocker sticks out. So from here comes out. That way I can put this corner exactly where it needs to go again, because if this is lined up, then everything else should be lined up. So let's start by knocking that out. Alright, got her all measured up. Here's my line. Surprisingly, it's almost exactly 10 inches from this line, the middle of this line, to the corner here. And then holding this up, it's almost exactly 1 1/4 inches from the line to the edge of the square. So I don't know if that's all I need, but be a lot more information than I had before, so I can probably make it work with that. So now starts the fun of finding all the spot welds that we have to grind or drill out. So I'll be using a wire brush for this. Helps kind of find the spot welds easier and see where to drill. So let's knock her out. So everything's kind of ground down, and as you can see here, you can see pretty easily where all the spot welds are once the paint's gone. And man, this side is definitely, I don't know if this is factory, it looks factory. It just goes to show you how careless they were when they actually built these trucks. And so if you're ever feeling discouraged about how yours works, just look at the factory stuff from back then, and you'd be like, oh, my stuff's a lot better than this. So we're doing pretty good. So now the next step that I found easier was to actually cut this rocker shell off. So just knowing that the inner rocker comes out about 1 inch past this this crimp here. So what I did was came out about 1 inch, and I cut out in the bottom. That just removes everything, and it actually helps you be able to actually see where everything is. So I'll probably do that again because it seems like it worked pretty well last time. So get the grinder out and start cutting. It's the next day, back out here. I was gonna maybe try and just drill all the tack welds, but that just seems like it's gonna be a pain. So I'm gonna go with my original plan and just kind of cut around here, just kind of open up things and see what they look like, and then kind of work from there. So yeah, to the grinder. So I'm going to show you guys, this is a perfect example of why I like to cut the outer rocker out, because it just allows you access to see everything. And you can, because sometimes after you drill out your spot welds, it doesn't always cut through all the weld because it's kind of hard to tell exactly where it's at. And so with this, you can put this in there, hammer this, and it'll break the little weld left. You move to the next one, and you can continue to do that, and you can just see everything instead of kind of guessing. So that is why I found that helpful to do. And as you can see, this is just a rusty mess. This A-pillar bottom actually isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I bought a new one because I figured it was going to be as bad as the old one, which was like this, like Swiss cheese. But I am not going to have to replace near as much of this. Maybe just the very bottom, because I could see the very bottom being really weak, but I'll grind that down once I get everything removed and see what we got to do there. But overall, I think this side's going to go a lot faster. You can see here the rust goes and it just stops close to here. If we look in there, you can't really see, but it's not really rusty in there, so I can just throw some coating in there. That'll protect it. The only thing that I'm worried about is I don't know how close these edges are going to match compared to the old one. So it'll look kind of funky if all of a sudden you get halfway and there's a different kind of body line there. So that's just something that I'm gonna have to figure out when I get there. This one's in, interesting, been some rust repair done there. So, like I said, I'll just make that decision when I get there. Looking at them from here, they look like they might be similar, but you never know until you're holding them up to each other. But I'm just going to continue to cut out what we need to so I can get a solid idea of what I'm going to be dealing with. And it is about to downpour. Maybe someday I'll fix that hole in the roof. We have been getting hammered here in California the last couple weeks. Been windy, rainy. Hopefully that'll get us out of this drought we're having. Well, and just like that, everything is removed. Man, what a pain. But this time I was able to remove everything without taking that off. But now that everything is off, I think I am going to cut this off. I'm kind of sitting here debating whether I should or not. I have the piece. I know the bottom of here is going to be rusty. It's not super weak, but the main reason I want to do it is because it's just kind of annoyingly, not hard, but it's kind of a pain sliding these pieces in and out of here. And it would be a lot easier with this bottom piece gone. So I'm thinking I might as well just cut that bottom off. It'll actually save me a lot of time down the road. It won't take that long to weld the new piece on, and it'll just be this bottom section, so it'll be pretty straightforward. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go for it. Might as well. Alright, everything is officially cut off, ready to go back together. Overall, taking this part went a lot faster than the other side. Experience always wins. Just learning from that side, I was able to do it a lot quicker. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to put it back together a lot quicker. That one took weeks. I'm hoping to do this one in days, and I think it's very possible. But I think I'm going to end this one here. Got everything taken apart. Next video, I can start putting her back together. So stay tuned. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out.